Hello everyone, welcome to part 3 of Dead Space. God damn it! I blew a hole in the debris like a madman. Hell, by the end of this game you could make the argument that Isaac is maybe a bit of a madman. But I think it's all up to interpretation. Back to the Ishimura shop, now we can buy pulse rounds with the schematics we have. Yay? Yay! Pulse rifle sucks. Anyway, let's go meet this captain guy, who I assume is very much dead at this point.
Remember, when you reach the morgue, find Captain Mathius' body. Get his rig codes, and the computer's all ours.
I just got a plasma cutter upgrade right there. That's going to come in handy later. And the good thing about the weapon upgrades is they don't take inventory space. So you can carry as many of those as you want.
Transmit all personnel. This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan. Medical is overwhelmed. We need help. Look at his wounds. We can't handle so many trauma cases, and the command crew won't tell us what's happening. It's seizing. Shit. Maybe I have some PHP left.
Enter Nicole. Now, we've seen her pop up a few times in the previous parts. She is Isaac's girlfriend. And there is a very high likelihood that Nicole is still alive on the ship. Or at least Isaac thinks she is. Dead Space does dabble with psychological horror from time to time, so what we're seeing might possibly not even be there. But the necromorphs are definitely real though. Yeah, I'm toughing it out with the rifle. Let me see how far I can get with this thing. There are going to be things in the environment that will aid you from time to time, like the aforementioned explosive barrel, or these blue stasis-like canisters, which work pretty much the same as if you shot out the stasis beam. You can either shoot at the canisters like normal, or use your kinesis to throw it at the enemies. Nobody fucks with Isaac and lives. The game should really be called Isaac's Revenge. Or Isaac's Madness. That sounds more like the sequel to Binding of Isaac, actually. If you thought Dead Space was strange in the whole horror aspect of everything, Binding of Isaac is just... wow. Wow. Will I play Binding of Isaac for the channel? I'm not even sure if I'm ready to play that game again on my off time. Apparently the lurkers can survive rocket-propelled grenades. But they can't survive 2, though. Oh geez, I just pissed off the father. Oh, he's gonna get it too.
Security request retrieved.
You left me. I woke in the dark with them scratching in the walls. Scratching my brats. And you all locked me in with them.
And that person was losing their damn minds. In fact, everybody on the ship that is not a necromorph, probably long gone. They lost their marbles, they're crazy. And to be fair, if you were stuck on this space station, would you still be sane after this?
Mercer, it's Terrence Kine. You were in surgery, so I left this with Warwick. He'll be discreet. I just got the latest report from Aegis 7. The situation's worse than Captain Mathius will admit. 40% of the colony's population is now showing symptoms. Depression, hallucinations, more violence. People are dying down there. I know it's linked to the marker somehow, but I just don't have enough data. Mercer, maybe I was wrong. We need answers by any means possible. That patient, Brent Harris, might be our last hope.
Hopefully YouTube does not snipe this part because that happened. Oh, speaking of which, Dead Space Remake does have a hide disturbing scenes option. It's just about as dumb and hilarious as it sounds. Because the thing is, it crudely blurs out the disturbing images and gore in the cutscenes, but not in the gameplay. Which is not the dumbest part. Okay, yeah, that is the dumbest part, but the dumbest part is, why is this in an M-rated game? Where the whole premise revolves around body horror. That's like releasing Mortal Kombat and having an option to block out the gore. Oh wait, they already did that. That's the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo versions of Mortal Kombat 1. But it's a horror game, come on. It's bloody, it's supposed to be bloody and disturbing and gross. Good thing is you don't have to turn that option on and it's off by default, so you don't have to worry about that. Anywho, should be getting close to Captain Mathius' last location before he died. Oh, Captain Mathius, how could you turn into one of them, you son of a bitch? Anyway, yeah, that was a new enemy type, that starfish transformer dude. Let me look up this creature's name, because it is eluding me. I think that is the Infector, if I'm not mistaken. What this type of necromorph will do is infect bodies if there are any bodies in the local area. The corpses will transform into these weak slasher type enemies like this one. And the Infector will move on to the next body. And the next body. And the next body. But if there are no bodies in the area, that's when the Infector will attack. And the attack is usually weak on the Infector. They're not all that dangerous by themselves, but they are sneaky and they're hard to aim at because they're so low to the ground. Like what's about to happen right here. I didn't realize that the Infector was right on top of me until I turned around. That's how sneaky they are. It also doesn't help that Isaac barely reacts to getting hit. He just kind of flinches and then goes back to what he's doing. Which for high intensity situations, you won't even notice. Trust me, you will not notice. Really? You're still kicking? I got a little something for you. It may have taken a chunk out of my health bar, but it still worked.
Isaac, what's your status? Do you have the captain's rig?
Fuck me! Ugh. Transmitting codes now. I saw it, Hammond. A flying one turned the captain's body into another one of those things. The same must have happened to Chen.
God. Maybe the command computer has something. Where's Daniels when you need her? Head back to the security checkpoint. It's safer there. At least I can upgrade your clearance.
Isaac's reaction to that situation was kind of hilarious. And I know there has been a bit of discourse on Isaac being able to talk in the first game scenario, Me personally, I don't really care. It makes more sense if Isaac did talk, because in the latter 2 games he talked. Why not in the first game?
Isaac,
I'm here. What the hell's happening?
the computer says the Ishimura's engines are offline. We're on a decaying orbit toward Aegis 7.
Oh god. I have to get to engineering.
There's no time. That tram station's offline. Unless... Here. Head back to the flight deck. I'll guide you from there. If this damage report's right, there's a shortcut to engineering.
Oh no, not the hangar bay. That's where all the bad shit happens. So what do you think? Should Isaac be able to talk, or should he be a mute? Like Chrono. And Claude. And pretty much every other RPG character before 1997. Oh wait, I guess Terra did talk in Final Fantasy VI now, did she? Let's not get turned around again. If it weren't for the navigation thing, this game would have been 10 times harder. Not just from the monsters, even though they can still pose a threat, but just trying to get around the Ishimura. Wait a minute, you weren't here before. I gotta go that way. Yeah, do not be afraid to use your navigation system. It's there for a reason. Now we have access to the tram system. This will give Isaac a means of getting across the ship quickly. So now's the time we get out of the medical area and down into the hangar.
Lifting station lockdown. Flight deck tram control. Now arriving at flight deck tram control.
Well, that was an interesting ride, but I got places to be. And it's good to see that transportation hasn't changed much in the 25th century. Now we have to go back to where we started the game by taking the elevator down. That area will be in zero gravity, so we'll have a bit of floating around to deal with.
Security reporting retrieved.
Isaac, this damage report says there's a broken cargo lift just beyond the hangar doors. I'll open them now.
Entering zero gravity.
You'll need your thrusters to reach it, but that lift shaft should take you straight down to engineering.
And that's going to be the end of Chapter 2. The way Dead Space does chapters is kinda weird. It seamlessly goes into the next segment. Now for me, I kind of like Resident Evil 4 and how they break up their chapters. So there's like something bad happens to Leon, because everything bad happens to Leon in that game. Then it gives you a results screen, and then it goes into the next chapter. So kind of an odd choice for this to flow all together. Not saying it's bad, it's just different.
Entering vacuum.
Oh boy, welcome to the void! Again. Now there are going to be lurkers in the area, and I believe some leapers, maybe 1 or 2. But they're not that dangerous. Or at least hopefully they're not. Despite having complete 360-degree flight controls, you cannot cling on to ceilings and walls. There is still a bit of limitation to where you can go. But at least we don't have the janky moon jump from the original. Look, I know that was like one of the first games to implement that sort of zero gravity technology, but still, it's kind of bad. Super Mario Galaxy is a better example of that sort of zero-gravity platforming. Want to be careful around here because anything could just be lurking around the corner and I won't be able to hear it. Because in space, nobody can hear lurkers lurk. Land, Isaac, come on. There we go. You see what I mean? The only thing you can cling on to is the floor.
Exiting zero gravity.
We are getting into the inner workings of the station, which means more dangers will await us. The infection is spreading all right. Look at that wall. Disgusting.
Warning. Orbital position compromised. Correct course immediately.
Oh shit, we are falling out of orbit. We need to do something quickly. Hammond, got any suggestions? What about you, Kendra? I have not heard from Kendra in a while. Hopefully she's not dead. Anyway, let's unlock this part of the tram system so that way we can have a quick way back.
Station now accessible. Thank you for your patience.
And this will be a good place to make our safe haven for now. Let's see what I can sell off, because I think my inventory's jacked up. A lot of things. All the things. Well, for one thing, the semiconductor can go. Other than that, I think everything else is good.
Seeing you in the control room. Any news on the engines?
Yeah, but it makes no sense. They're out of fuel. The centrifuge is offline. We're tethered to a 4 trillion ton payload. Without the engines, it's dragging us down to the planet.
Can you handle it alone?
Sure, fix the centrifuge, get the fuel running, then do a full restart. But you'll need to stabilize our orbit from there.
Standing by. Fast as you can, Isaac.
It seems like I got a lot on my plate for the next episode. So I'll see you guys in part 4, where hopefully we won't crash into the planet.